Okay, so it's 9 now. We can start this webinar on CIVA SHM. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for attending this presentation of this new module in CIVA. So you will be mute during this meeting, of course, to avoid noise troubles. So I mute all of you, but you can ask some questions using the chat tools of WebEx. Actually, the first part of this meeting, I will just introduce with a few slides company and CIVA, and then I will introduce you CIVA SHM module itself. And we will have time at the end of the meeting for questions and answer sessions using the chat tools of WebEx. So it's better maybe to wait for the end of the presentation to ask your questions, and we will take time to answer them if I can. This webinar will be also recorded, so it will be available afterwards on our YouTube channel if you want to come back to it. So it's not lost anyway. Okay, so once again, thanks to you to be connected to this webinar session, and let's start now. So actually, we will have two presentations. The first one this morning with me, Fabrice Fouché from Extend, and another session will take place Thursday for other people, Thursday afternoon. So the goal today is to introduce this new module, CIVA SHM for structural health monitoring modeling. I will start with a short introduction to Extend and CIVA, then the different modules of CIVA really briefly. And then the main part of this webinar will be a presentation of these new modules to see the capabilities and the interest of using this module for structural health monitoring deployment. After this demo, we will take the time for questions and answers with the chat tools of your WebEx. So you can see here the icon of this menu that should be available on the top of your screen normally. Right, let's go. So probably all of you, or nearly all of you, already know us, knows Extend. So we are the company distributing CIVA worldwide, providing also technical support to CIVA users or CIVA education for teaching organizations. We provide also training sessions on CIVA, as well as reliability training sessions on the questions of POD qualifications and so on. Around this, we also have a consulting activities. We perform studies mainly based on simulations, but also based on trials if necessary. If you have a need for design, qualifications, expert assessments, you can rely on us on a consulting basis. And of course, we use mainly CIVA for this activity as well. And our last part of our activity is the development and distribution of trendy virtual training tools. This is virtual mockup available for UT training and also RT training now, just new, to give a virtual mockup solutions for NDO operators. But today, the scope of this presentation is CIVA, and more precisely CIVA for structural health monitoring. Okay, CIVA in a few words. So the SHM module comes, of course, on a platform that already includes a few applications, a few modules for simulations of UT inspections, X-ray inspections, or gamma rays inspections, adequate inspections. CIVA also already includes a guided wave for NDT applications. And so SHM module has just been released within CIVA 2020. It's a SHM based on guided waves, so it's not all SHM applications, but based on guided waves. and this will be the topic of this webinar. A tool also available within Siva platform is Siva Script that is available for all UT, RT, ET, Guided Web, SHM modules. It's an option allowing to drive Siva without using the user interface as a script, actually, to monitor series of computations and so on, and also analysis. Let's also remind that Siva also includes UT data analysis tools to process real data and prepare analysis and examination reports in different formats. So it has two versions, the research version, Siva Experts, and the educational versions for universities or training centers. Siva, it's developed by the R&D Center CEA list in France, and Extend is the exclusive distributor worldwide. We have also some representative distributors in Asia, in Korea, Japan, India, China, and Russia. Okay, why using modeling in MDE or SHM? Main thing is to help designing inspection process or designing sensors and preparing the inspection setups instead of doing everything with mockups, prototypes, trying and success failures and iterations like this. The idea is to understand better, master better what you are doing thanks to modeling, to see what are the promising solutions, and then with less iterations and maybe less money spent, you could reach the better solutions, optimized solutions with less mockups and less trials. Of course, it doesn't mean no mockup and no trial. It will be necessary to go to physical tests, of course, at the end, but modeling should help to already show you an interesting way of to design inspection solutions. After inspections, using modeling can be also interesting to use as an expertise tool to try to understand better potentially complex scans, complex results that need some, it's more complex to interpret, so you can try to reproduce such type of results in modeling to explain results, a type of defect, an artifact, and so on. Qualifications means to demonstrate the performance of an inspections for different influential parameters, means to know what are the influential parameters, to know what are the degradation factors, and so on. If you do everything with physical tests, it means preparing mockups that will cover all these different situations. This is a typical case where modeling can really help, as you can do a lot of these tests by modeling and expand also the design of experiments to have a wide scope and wide explorations of all influential parameters impact on the outcome, and then use that for let's say qualification, justification, technical justifications, maybe POD curves, and so on. It's also true for SHM to assess efficiency of SHM sensors distributions before implementation. And modeling will be also a good way to discuss and convince. It gives you a visual support to display the results or potential results of an inspection or an SHM monitoring scheme. So it can help a lot to discuss with your colleagues, your customers, your suppliers, if you have something visual to show. And also, of course, train and teach. Okay, let's just describe briefly the main modules of Siva. Siva UT helps to compute beam calculation, beam propagations with conventional or phased array probes. Okay, such maps of the beam, okay, can be displayed. It also performs inspection simulations to calculate response from defects when you inspect it. It includes also sensitivity and analysis curves, and also allows to plot periodic curves. It can simulate pulse echo, conventional UT, phased array techniques, sector scan, E-scan, TFM, and so on, tandem, TOFT, and so on. And CIVA-UT also includes an analysis part to process real data analysis, such as Edify, Olympus, TPAC, native files, or even ZTEC files if you have exported them before. Thanks to a plugin distributed with CIVA, this plugin also is available to create other possibilities to import other data formats. And you can use the 3D viewer and all the tools of CIVA to process your data. CIVA eddy current includes field calculation tools to display eddy current distributions, depth penetration, and so on, probe response diagrams, and also inspection simulation tools to create or to reproduce defect signals when you scan the probe in a tube, in a planar component, and so on. It covers different techniques, conventional eddy current arrays, remote fields, or pulse eddy currents. X-ray modules allows to reproduce X-ray tests with a source, with a part, with detectors. It includes calculation of direct and scattering radiations. It can cover X-ray source, gamma ray source, high energies, and reproduces the film radiograms for different exposure time, different type of source, and so on, and of course different type of defects. And it also includes an extension for 3D tomographic reconstructions, computed tomography, to perform 3D reconstructions. And now CIVA SHM for structural health monitoring. So we don't talk anymore about inspection, but monitoring of structures. It's based on the guided waves. It includes today tools to compute dispersion curves, similar to the one you can find in the guided wave NDT tools of CIVA. And the main things is the ability to simulate a set of sensors distributed on a component, tubular panels, and so on, and to simulate the received signals on this sensor when you are or when you have not a defect. Based on this, it provides reconstruction imaging tools, and you can also export and visualize local fields, local displacements, maps, and so on for different type of structures. It's based on spectral finite elements with very competitive performances compared to traditional finite element tools. Some benchmarks have been done. Computation times with CIVA SHM is much faster than traditional FEM package. It's sometimes more than a factor 100, so it's really really important. The gap in terms of computation times is really important, and CIVA SHM also take a very negligible RAM footprint, less and really noticeably less than 1 GB, so it can work on a normal platform and a normal hardware, and at very, very competitive performances. So even if it's finite elements, so the rest of CIVA platform is much based on semi-linearity tables. This module is more based on finite elements, but this specific approach allows to reach really, really interesting computation times. It remains a question of several minutes, maybe several hours sometimes, to compute one typical case, one industrial case. It can cover several situations in this first version, and it will continue to evolve. It can cover today metallic and composite panels, flat or with potential curvatures, potential stiffeners for multi-layers structures. It can also simulate metallic pipes, and these structures can include some defects such as holes always crack, delamination, or erosion-like profiles or bump-like profiles. And you can compute the effect of this type of defects on the received signals. Well, now let's go for a demo to see it more clearly. I will directly open CEVA SHM and show you a set of examples and the different menus for you to have an idea of the capabilities. So you should see now on your screens the CEVA window. So for the CEVA users, you are familiar to this desk, which is the first window when you open CEVA with the different modules available. You may have one of them, you may have some of them, you may have all of them. SHM is there, a new tile available here. We see this main tile to launch the simulation of SHM situation configurations. As usual, you have a without to initialize the configurations with something. Here, a planar aluminum case that I can load. And then you really now are inside CEVA SHM model page, where you will define your own case, your own data. So always structured the same way as the other CEVA modules, with the panels to define specimen, flows, and so on, sensors, and so on. Okay. Let's open maybe the specimen panel. We'll describe the capabilities and we'll show these different panels. Okay, so in CEVA SHM, this first version, planar and cylindrical geometries can be defined with planar with potential distortion, curvatures. We will see some examples. Okay, once the geometry is selected, you can change dimensions and then materials. So let's remind that CEVA SHM is based on finite elements. So behind this, there is a 3D mesh that is managed. It's automatically managed by CEVA. The user doesn't have to really control the mesh. You have a few parameters, but it's mostly automatic. So of course, as soon as you change something in the configurations, it has to regenerate the mesh. It's made by this button, update 3D. So if you change one parameters, if you want to rebuild the configurations, update 3D will do the reconstruction of the geometry, and also beyond this, the mesh is managed too. So it's this button is specific to this module compared to other CEVA modules. But you can see that in a few seconds you regenerate the new configurations. I've here just changed the size of the component. Let's mention also that the edges here are accounted for, so it has really an importance. It's not an infinite plate; it's a finite plate. So these sensors would see the effect of the edges reflections. Second tab, the materials. Here you have a list of available materials for your configurations. For the moment, aluminum is selected, okay, with acoustic properties. Anisotropic materials can be defined. You can see here that it can be here anisotropic. You can rely on the database, as you may already know from CEVA. So, for instance, let's add maybe one material in the list here, and you can load a carbon epoxy ply, where here it's an anisotropic materials defined by its stiffness matrix with stiffness constants here. Okay, you can load here different materials, and then you will assign to maybe the component here one or several materials. So here there is one layer with aluminum. I can create a second layer, and maybe now I can select another materials like the carbon epoxy I've loaded, and it will create a B layer specimen metallic composite here. And you can see the two layers. Okay. Of course, you can create more. We will see typical composite structures later on during this demo. For such stratified structures, stiffener can then be added, omega stiffener, with here some parameters to define this geometry. Okay, it's also a possibility. Okay, let's come back to maybe first an homogeneous structure. Reset the initial configurations with a single layer made of aluminum. That's it. You can introduce a curvature to a panel. So by default, it's flat, but you can here generate a curve. So it's managed by a set of inflection points here defined with XZ coordinates. A default curvature is proposed. We can here click on update to see what it corresponds to. It's a kind of waviness that will be here created. Okay, you can see here. So depending on the positions of these inflection points, you will manage the curvature of the initial flat panel. Okay. You can also create this curvature by a set of files defined in a text file. It's also another possibility. In terms of defects, what can you do in this first version? You can go here on the flow panel. Actually, up to 3 defects can be defined per simulation. And in the drop-down list, you can see the different type of defect available. You can see hole with a crack generated from this hole, or erosion-like profiles. You will also find here delamination as soon as you have a structure with several layers. We will see an example a bit later. So again, you can change the parameters of the defect, the positions in the components, dimensions of the hole, for instance, here, and to visualize and rebuild the configurations. Again, update 3D button will do the job. It appears here in red. Okay, let's create maybe other type of defect, a hole with a crack, for instance, at another location, with a 10 radius for the hole and maybe a 10 length for the crack that can be positioned at different location around the hole. Here it is, my second defect. Then let's do an erosion-like profile that can have a rectangular or elliptical shape. You position it, its center, and then you define the deformations thanks to parameter length, depth of deformations. Okay, so you can imagine more or less extended deformation depending on the type of erosion or maybe corrosion type of defect you want to consider. I will do 15 millimeters length here and 5 wide. Can be positioned at the top or the bottom of the structures. Here, this is the depth of this loss, and it can also induce a deformation on the back side. I can here introduce 50%, so it means 0.5 millimeters. And let's visualize this erosion profile again with update 3D. You can see here, so it corresponds to the dark red part here on the top, and the backside deformation here on this side, if you have defined it here. Okay, so you can imagine, of course, different dimensions different locations, different depths, and so on. Okay, let's go back to a single defect maybe. And let's go to the next panel, which will allow the user to define its network of sensors. So this is what appears here in yellow. In this case, in this default case. So, of course, the type, location, numbers, distribution of sensors is a key point when you designing monitoring monitor structures. And of course, you will maybe try to optimize the number of sensors. This is a key parameter that simulation may help to prepare before implementing sensors. So you can, of course, change the number of sensors. You can change their location here by in these circular organizations. I will replace by 8 maybe. I will change the angle. Maybe you can also consider different size of sensors. You can see in this case that it corresponds to a circular shape of sensors, thin, such as thin piezoelectric patches, typical of SHM sensors. Okay, and here is the new distributions with new sensor dimensions. You can organize them in a grid and not in a circle. So again, you will define the positions of the first one, then a kind of step and a number of sensors along X and Y, and see. After a few seconds, the new distributions of sensors you have defined here. The distribution can be also custom. It means it's just a table here where you click on plus to define each sensor position and to define your own number of sensors and its dimensions. So you can create a custom distribution also in this way. Okay, let's go back to a grid maybe. Okay, in terms of excitation profiles, the default one here is a radial mode. It means it corresponds to loading patterns from the sides of the sensors here. Maybe let's redefine these dimensions to 9.5 millimeters OD. Okay, so it's a radial loading pattern is typical to low or medium frequency sensors. You can also generate normal loading. So the stress or the constraints is applied on the other dimensions in the depths. Okay, you can see here with this graph representation of the loading patterns. And except these two predefined loading patterns, you also have here a generic one that will allow you to load a text file that includes a distribution of profiles, loading profiles that will actually allow you to define a custom shape of sensors and not anymore circular one, and a custom distribution of forces. In this case, we have loaded loading profiles coming from an EMAT probes that you may have calculated with CEVA eddy current, and you can see here 6 EMAT probes and the corresponding UVW distribution of excitation profiles. Okay, so it's actually quite flexible from the normal and radial predefined patterns to a generic one. The pulse signal, it's also, as in other modules of CEVA, it's also an input data for us. It's not, we don't compute the piezoelectric transductions. You define the loading profile and the temporal waveform of this profile based on an excitation frequency, a number of cycles, maybe a phase and a time of state and so on. You can see here the waveform in time, the spectrum, the FFT. Okay, so you may change it. You have a few options to define different type of pulse waveform. And then in terms of, let's say, electronic scan profile, you can either work in a round robin. It means each transducer will be successively an emitter, and then you record the received signal by all other sensors. Or you can define a custom scan with here, just defining here which sensors will be considered as emitters, one after the other. So maybe sensor 1, then maybe sensor 3, maybe that's it. And during these two, it will correspond to two different simulations, and it will calculate the response on the other ones, which will be considered as receivers. Okay, let's go back maybe in a round robin. And more or less that's it. You have defined a specimen, you have defined a defect, potentially a curvature on the components, you have defined a type of sensors, the distribution of sensors, the number of sensors. Okay, you have here in the option panel, the main thing to take care is the duration of the simulations. That should be long enough so that the wave can travel from the sensors to the defect and to the receivers. Okay, something to take care. You have here interesting information about the wavelengths and velocity of the main modes that should occur based on the pre-computations. It's also a good information to predict duration of the travel time, and it's more or less ready to run with this information. So this case will typically take between 20 and 30 minutes to run. Even in some computers, it can go less than 10 minutes. So even if it is a planar component made of isotopic materials, it's not a more complex case you can simulate in Siva, but it remains a realistic one. You can notice the calculation time. It's much less than 1 hour. Let's open the results of this case. Actually, we can see here the raw results given by the simulations. So here you have a first image corresponding to the different sequence. Actually, there is 6 sequences here corresponding to the 6 different emitters, 6 different pulsars that will successively launch a pulse. For each sequence, then you have all the signals received by the receivers that is available in this B-scan view. Okay, the first one here corresponding to the emitter, so that's why the initial pulse is seen here as with a saturated amplitude, but then you can see the other channels corresponding to all the receivers, and this is in a B-scan way, and here the corresponding A-scan is visible here. Okay, so this is the raw results. Not easy, or maybe not really meaningful if you just keep it alone. In SHM, the main thing is to compare a situation with a defect and a situation without defect, or maybe 2 states of the defect. So you can load the same simulation without defect. We need to compute a similar case like this, but without defect, or by deactivating the defect. This would do the same. And then you can compare the results. So one way to proceed could be to put everything on the same window and superimpose channels, for instance. So here I put my two on the top, the situation with defect, on the bottom the results without defect. Okay, I can select the same sequence. Okay, same channels, and maybe superimpose both A-scans to see the difference. There is a difference, so you could do the subtraction to see the impact of the defect. Okay, so you can work like this on the raw results. But Siva also provides imaging algorithms to process received data, also versus reference situations, so that you can create an image and reconstruct an image of the impact of the defect on the ultrasonic signals. So here, this is launched by this menu, SHM reconstructions. You identify what is your reference case, or the no defect case will be usually the reference case. You identify a mode of reconstructions, so often the A0 mode can be a good one, but you can try reconstruction with other guided modes, and then you apply here the reconstructions. This in this version, the delay and sum imaging algorithm is available in Tiva. Other will come. And after a few seconds, the reconstructions is displayed here. You can just give it a name, validate, and you have the image. If it works well, if the detection is okay, you may have an image of a defect. You can position it, put it on the 3D view, and you might be able to detect, identify, locate a defect based on this information. Okay, so you can see here that the hole is there, the spot is correlated to the defect, well connected to the defect, and quite well located and quite easy identifiable. Okay, so this is basically the output of these modules, the raw results in one side, and then the reconstruction image based on delay and sum algorithms on the other side. In the SHM module, a mode computation tool is also provided to compute dispersion curves. Let's quickly have a view on it. No, let's keep the configurations. For those who are familiar to the guided wave NDT modules of Siva, well, it's a similar one. So it's a quite fast calculation tool. You can compute dispersion curves just around the center frequency of the simulation I've just done, or you can enlarge the frequency spectrum here from 1 kilohertz to 500 kilohertz on this aluminum plate, and it will compute the dispersion curves. These dispersion curves can be done also in tubes, also in composite structures. Okay, it should come soon. Here we go. You can see here dispersion curves, velocity, phase velocity, wave number, wavelengths for the A0, S0, SH0 modes that could propagate in this aluminum plate for the range of frequencies I have defined. Of course, depending on the case, you can also have additional modes that could occur. Right. So let's visualize maybe other configurations. We'll go and load other files. So as we mentioned, you can introduce a distortion, a deformation, a curvature, let's say, to one panel. So it can be a quite strong curvature in one direction. Okay, like this one. We have first defined a planar panel, then we have introduced a curvature with inflection points like this to define such like a leading edge here, a type of geometries. Okay, and on this we have defined a grid of 2 by 5 sensors here and simulated the impact of two defects, a hole and a hole with a crack here on this close to the edge of this configurations. Okay, let's see the obtained reconstruction images. Okay, so it's again a question of maybe 1 hour of simulation to obtain this. Okay, you can notice here that here this defect is poorly seen, probably due to the fact that it's just close to two sensors, but far from the center of the sensors distribution. So you may here identify the necessity to have more sensors around the defect to be able to detect it. The other one is more detected, more in the center of the structures here, but still a quite distorted spot compared to a flat panel due to the shape of the component and maybe also the fact that the defect is made with also a crack and a hole. Okay, so another image obtained by simulation of SHM configuration. We have talked about composites. So let's also load a composite example. Okay. So to define it, we have more or less seen the process. You have to load, for instance, the carbon epoxy ply structures. One is available in the CEVA materials database, and then you can define a set of stack of plies. Here, eight plies are defined. You have a wizard to help to define this. You can notice different fibers orientations on each ply on this menu. So here we have and the thickness of each ply here, which defines the whole structure. Okay, a hole and also a crack have been defined here, and a circular sensor grid have been considered. Okay, let's see what you would open. Okay, so in this case, with this number of sensors, it works quite well. You can identify a defect and the notch. So here, if you have reconstructed this defect signal based on a reference case without any defect at all, it would give with delay and sum this type of spot. But you can also consider that your reference situation is the situation with the bore alone, and that the real defect is a crack. So you can also build a reconstruction by comparing the simulation with a crack and a hole, and the situation with a hole only. And in this case, the delay and sum reconstruction algorithms, of course, give a spot that allows to more identify the notch only. So maybe you might be able to separate, let's say, hole and crack signatures on this strategy. Okay, so with 8 sensors here, the imaging identifies well this defect. Of course, depending on the distance to the edges, depending on the number of sensors, the distance between the defect and sensors, all this can change, and this is what you could investigate at no cost, let's say, thanks to simulation. Let's see another examples with delamination. You can also introduce delamination defect in a composite structures. Okay, so here it's more or less the same 8 ply structures, but a delamination defect has been defined with an elliptical shape. If you look at it from the top, you can consider that the delamination is not only on one ply, but also is generated at different plies with different extension depending on the location. Okay, this is what we have done here. This first simulation has been done with 40 kilohertz sensors. Okay, and you can notice that the result is much less easy to identify than with a clear hole. With delaminations, actually there is something, but poorly maybe separated from the surrounding signals that are due to edges effect and so on. So maybe you could imagine that the signature of the delamination could be lost in noise. So we can try other solution, for instance, with a higher frequency, so shorter wavelengths. You are actually able to more isolate the delamination signal from the rest of the informations due to the edges effect. Again, with the A0 mode in this case. Okay, so investigating different type of sensors, different frequency of sensors is of course something you can try really easily thanks to simulation. All right. A few examples again. Let's we have talked about also tube inspection. So tube or pipe, you can simulate metallic pipe, not composite pipe in these first versions, metallic pipes. Let's see an example. Okay. So the specimen is a cylinder. Okay. It can only be one layer in this case, not composite ones. So with 1 meter of pipe have been considered here, an outer diameter of 200 millimeters, and 2 rings of sensors are being positioned around the pipe circumference, and we have simulated the situation with a hole, a through-wall hole between these 2 rings of sensors. Okay, the obtained signals, of course, we still have, as for the other cases, the result given by SIVA itself is a raw result here of the response of all receivers for all excited for all exciters, and then you can again apply reconstruction algorithms to create an image from this, and here you manage to identify a spot for the defect at the defect location here. An example with a tubular case. SIVA SHM is based on finite element. You can also select, you can make the choice to export, let's say, finite element data, for instance, to visualize fields, snapshot of the field versus times, or also to visualize the mesh, the 3D mesh. It's possible. To do this, we will use you have to use an external VTK viewer. For instance, SIVA SHM offers a bridge with a ParaView tool. ParaView is an open source software that you can really easily download and install on your machine. And there is a bridge that allows to directly export SIVA SHM data to ParaView to visualize fields, let's say. So, for instance, here, still on my pipe case, you identify one of the sequence. So here, sequence 5, so sensor number 5 is the emitter, and to export that to ParaView, you just click here on ParaView Export VTK 3D, and it will launch ParaView and directly will load the corresponding data to visualize wave propagations of your SIVA simulations. So just I'll just do nothing at the moment, just loading on its own. Okay, once done, like this, you have a visualization of the tube, and you can animate. You can see the hole here, and you can here play the field propagation animations in ParaView. like this. You can see this is the location of sensor 5, and the wave emits, interacts with defect. And you can see then its propagation in the full whale, in the full pipelines, the reflection on the side that are considered also, until the end of the duration of the simulation you've performed in SIVA here. Okay, so in this case, 12 snapshots have been created for this simulation. So it can be really interesting to interpret the different signals received and also the interaction with the edges and with the defect. It's ParaView, of course, is a free software, so it's really comes like this with SIVA. Nothing to specially to purchase in addition to SIVA to access to this visualization. Let's also mention that SIVA SHM also includes parametric study and POD study tools currently available within SIVA platform, as you may know from the other modules, UT, eddy current, maybe. So you can you just have to identify here parametric study, and then you have access to the possibility to define one of the parameters as a variable, and then you can generate a variation range of these parameters for 5 values. You can have several parameters also variable here, and also meta models that you may know in SIVA is also available in SIVA SHM. So you can switch from a standard parametric that will just calculate a grid of simulations to a meta model that will do the same plus. So it will calculate several simulations, parametric simulation, plus creates a meta model from that. So a parametric simulation may help you, for instance, to directly extract a curve of the signal amplitude versus defect size if you process relevant data, or in this case a meta model have been performed for different dimensions of the hole. So it's more or less in the same aluminum plate that we have seen. Based on 4 or 5 simulations, a meta model have been done and allows to interpolate all results between 2 extreme values, 5 millimeters holes and 30 millimeters holes. And you can see that it's quite interesting because you can create the evolution of the flow maps from small dimensions to large dimensions, which can be interesting, and for a given set of sensors, of course. Okay. And it just costs 5 simulations to create these meta models, which just costs half an hour. And you have this information available. And of course, each case also can be done individually if you want to analyze one by one. So SIVA SHM is also connected to these powerful tools of SIVA to perform studies with different values, different parameters, parametric study, sensitivity analysis, meta models, and so on. Okay, I think we can conclude. Thank you to all of you for your attention, and I wish you a very good day, and I hope you will be soon a SIVA SHM user.